Okay, everybody, you know what day it is. It's Thursday. Thursday. Chopping it up with Chris with the ladies of Still Dope. And you know what we talking about. We are talking about Married at First Sight, the Hilton Head retreat. Oh, who do we want to start with? I already know who I want to start with. Let's just get rid of the.
All I have to say is that you all doubted me on when it's going to come down to decision day, and I'm telling you, the feet are getting cold.
With
whom?
Virginia and Eric? I don't think so.
I don't think I really
when
still
when it comes down to the final question, are you going to say she's going to be like, she don't want to move it? The cold cats. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You want to talk about it? Can I just talk about them first?
Let's talk about them.
The whole.
Let's start off with them.
She does not want to compromise. Eric and Virginia, the drunks. She does not want to compromise at all.
No.
At all.
And,
not like I'll keep the cats out. No. I want them on me the way I want to be in my apartment. I plan to be there for 5 years. I don't want to live in your place. Go find a new place. And then even when you find a new place and you rent yours out, I'll still be like, I don't like that one. But you chose it anyway. The cats, she is like, and he keeps saying, I'm here for you. I love you. I want to make you happy. And she's going, yeah, she's doing little things just to chip, just to prepare him for when it comes down there. And she says, no, because he keeps saying, well, you know what I'm going to say. What about you? She's like, everything is, everything. There's no like, well, most likely, yes, but it's always, I'm telling you, when it comes down to it,
One, I think she thinks all that Heen and Han, she thinks that's cute. She tries to bounce between like, I'm a girl woman. Like she does these little things that she thinks like it's the cute talk, the laughing, the giggling all the damn time. I think she thinks it's cute, but I also think that Clara said it too. Clara said it as well. They are so sexually attracted to each other, and they have confused that, that part of their relationship. So I see her. I don't know for what reason it is why she's so connected to him, but I think she sees him as her father. I think she does. Yeah,
it's not going to happen.
It is.
She's not going to compromise.
Let me just try that. I don't think she sees him as her father. I think she is just so regimented in the fact that her parents had a toxic relationship and she had a fucked up upbringing with her toxic parents, that she is just dragging that over into her current relationship. And that's not the smart move for her.
Does not want to be married. She does not want to be married.
No, I agree.
Tell me one thing.
She wants to be married, but and she's going to stay with him. But she's going to mess it up so much. Is it next week?
Next week is the
We need to put something on the table for this one.
Look, I'm just saying she does not want to. To save face, she may say yes. Or whatever, not to make him feel bad, but
she will.
She does not want to be married.
No, and the fact that she's not compromising at the end of the day. Look at here, at all. Exactly. Like the three of us are homeowners. Now, you ain't. I'm sorry. I can meet the man of my dreams tomorrow night if he's renting an apartment, and we decide we're going to get married. And at the end of the day, who's moving? I'm not. You're not, Chris. You're not, Shahida. We're homeowners. Break that lease and bring your ass over here. Now, that's not saying that I'm not going to make space for you. And when you come into my home, I'm going to be like, you can do whatever you want to do. I want you to feel comfortable. And he said that to her, and she's not getting it.
That whole thing is, I get what you're saying, but I think she's being absolutely I mean, the word is not even
childish.
She's just being trash.
She's being childish.
He's like, he's allergic to cats. And she's like, F you, I don't care.
You can get some pills. Remember when she said you can get some medication? And she's like, and he's like, well, why can't we just leave the cats outside? I have a cat.
I don't think he meant outside. What
no, outside, like outside the bedroom.
Yeah.
Outside
and she
the
said
bedroom.
no. And
no, she said
no.
Because one cat lays on my chest and the other cat lays on my side, and I can't lock them out.
She does.
I do not like animals in my bed. Period. I'm the only animal in the bed. There's no other animals, no dogs, no dirt, no nothing else. Humans
and I think
only
she's the
in
type
the
of
bed.
person that you'll probably walk into her house and she'll have the cat on the counter just chilling
in the refrigerator. You know, when she goes to get her produce, you probably, if she leaves that refrigerator door open, that cat climbs in the produce drawer and is all laying up in there with the collard greens, bananas, and all that shit. And then she's going to invite everybody over for a dinner party. No, thank you. That's why I don't do that shit.
He's so hyped about her age and about her being so much younger. He's like a dirty old man. When he looks at her, it's like a lech. It drives me insane. It's like, so he's in it for that. Because if he wasn't in it for the fact that she was young, that she was young and he considers her hot, then he would, because he would listen, he would hear everything that she's saying and said, these are all big red flags.
He wants to break her like a young. He wants to break her like a young filly.
Oh, that's so gross.
He wants to, you know, once she listens to me, I know better. Once she listens to me, it'll be all, you know, he said that to her too. Ugh, I'm telling you, she is not in it. There's not one thing in that thing today. Well, when I watched it, there's not one thing in there that said, I am totally in it or whatever. There's always something, something. Even when she's disrespecting him at the table, even when they're at the table and he's like, I'm trying to compromise with you. She's like, no, I mean, no, I just feel like you don't do that. I'm like, I didn't. He even said, remember he said, fuck. He said, I fucking did. I mean, he's just trying, but she's not giving anything. She's not giving anything. I just want to make you happy. Nope. She ain't going to be happy. And she's not happy.
Listen, here's the thing. At the end of the day, when a person, I'm not going to say woman, because when a person looks at you that you claim to be in love with and married to, looks at you in your face after you've told them, I have allergies to this cat, like it could possibly kill me. And the bitch is like, no. My cat sleeps here, and my other cat sleeps here, and I'm not locking them out. And I got my dogs in this.
Yeah, but things have changed.
But you gotta go.
Things have changed, and she is not about that change. She's like, I plan to be in my apartment for 5 years. My cats. I'm not living in that condo. It's not like, no. She's like, she does not want to be married. And
his condo, and at the end of the day, his condo is sufficient enough. She just didn't like the fact that his condo was like manly, and I ain't mad at him on that.
It's a condo.
He has like a townhouse, like what I got. He's got what I got, Shahida, like the townhouse thing.
Oh, townhouse. Okay.
Yeah, but he's got plenty of room.
Huh?
What are you eating?
Popcorn.
Snacking on some popcorn.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I can see. Yeah.
Crunching. But here's the thing. He lives in a townhouse that he owns, and I know he has ample enough room for her animals. She just does not want to move in there because
she doesn't want to be married to him.
Huh?
She does not want to be married to him.
Period. No, but I guarantee you, at the decision day, she's going to stay married to him. Trust that. She'll stay married to him.
He is.
I think only she's doing it only for the cameras. That's the only reason why she would say to save, because she knows he's going to say yes, and she would look like an asshole if she says no.
But what about
he does not want
it? They can parlay that into the next season of Married at First Sight, Couples Unfiltered. There's a whole nother show for that of the married couples that they get paid. So she's probably like, let's parlay that into that. But I don't think she's going to say divorce. She's not going to divorce him.
I noticed with her, and Chris is just like, no, he's. I'm telling you, you got to do a side bet on this one. But her thing is, she understands her sexual attraction he has to her, and she uses it. Do you remember how they broke up? And I mean,
that's a smart woman.
Yeah, what woman does?
What woman does that kind of power before? I mean, I don't think she's had that kind of power before because.
Oh, I think she has.
No,
she's just never been in a situation where someone is
clapping back.
No, well, is in love with her too, and doing anything
to get. If
it was a relationship, look, if it was in a relationship right now, if it was the two of them, they hooked up this in a relationship. After the first thing, he'd have been gone.
Exactly,
he would have been gone. The only reason why he's staying there is because he's married. He's traditional. I'm married now. This, something other. She could take it or leave it. She could take it or leave it.
And he's staying there because he feels he has a young, hot wife.
Yes, but it's an obligation.
That's one for him. Number one for him is that he is so seriously attracted to her, and the sex is obviously very good between them. And he's what, 34?
34.
He's not even that old, but he's really happy to have.
He feels old though.
Huh?
He feels really old.
But let's take the hot off the table. The bitch is young. The bitch is young, but is she really hot? No.
He thinks that.
He thinks she is though.
Because he looks like a prepubescent child. He's 36 years old. He has no guns. His 34. Arms are skinnier than 34, 26, 42. His arms are skinnier than mine. His torso is skinnier than mine. And I work out. And he's like, he just looks from the neck down. He looks like a teenager. There's nothing he can do for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for her at 26.
But she's
loving it.
I'm just saying the writing is on the wall. I'm just letting you know it's getting closer and closer to what I've been saying for weeks now.
Isn't it going to be next week? Next week?
Is it next week? When it comes down to it, and they say, do you want to be married? Yes or no? He's going to go first. He's going to say yes. And he's going to look at her with that like, you're going to say yes,
and she's
right?
Going to say yes.
And she's going to be like, well, we have so many problems.
But she's going to say yes.
She's going to say yes, we have so many problems. And she's going to do a litany of problems or whatever. And then she's going to say yes.
Yes. I guarantee you they're going to be married afterwards.
Just for the cameras.
Yes, for the cameras. And then the shit show starts after that.
Didn't he say that? Who said it in the car?
He said it in the car. He's like, you're always calling me out when we're on camera, which is telling because it's like,
I know.
Like, what's going on behind the camera scenes when you're just living your lives? Like, I would look at it like if I did that, a lot. I would do that. Like, I'd be like, the majority of our serious conversations are going to be had off camera. When the camera crew goes, we're going to have our serious conversations and fights, whatever. When the camera crew shows up, we might have a fight or we might disagree on something, but we're not going to be all rock'em sock'em like them two.
Yeah, they're just whatever. Who else do you want to talk about?
All right, over with them. Let's take the other boring. Let's take the other boring couple.
Let's do percentages.
Ryan and Clara.
Well, percentages.
We didn't do the percentages, Don.
Percentages.
Well, my percentages of 100.
Individual.
I'm giving them 100%.
Okay, as a group, they're going to say now we should do it like percentages, and then either yes or no if they're gonna stay together.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, we all agree that they're not staying together, but they're going.
They're going to stay together for the reveal show or whatever. The reveal show.
The reveal. Yes.
Okay.
I give them 100%.
I
say.
I'm giving them 100%.
Supposed to say yes, but she is at. But wait. But she is at She's at 40% for me.
Really?
She's at 40%.
I'm giving them both 100%.
There's not one thing besides the sex. I get that, but she's like, I can't do anything. I can't go anywhere. She even said it to the girls. You know, I'm restricted. I'm not. He doesn't. She's not compromising on living places, anything. Even Claire said she doesn't want to compromise. She's like, in a marriage, you have to compromise. They all see that she is not compromising at all.
No.
So yes. I think she's gonna she's maybe say yes for the thing, but I think deep down, when it comes down to it, if it was off camera, do you want to stay married? She would say no. I'm giving her a 40.
I agree with 30, you on that
30%, and I'm gonna give him a 60, 65, 70 because he wants it so badly. If she would just listen, if she would just listen to me.
I give them, for the show's purpose, I'm going to give them both 100% on decision day. They're both going to say, let's stay married. They're going to save face for the cameras. And then after the show's over, I give a fuck what happens to them. No. It is what it is.
Oh. Yeah, 100 for me. I'm definitely thinking that they're going to stay together.
They're going to make it. I mean, they're going to make it to the season finale.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought. But yes, they're going to stay together.
Edible. You ate that edible 30 minutes ago. That's why I waited.
That one like this. Shahida. Tap, 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 tap. Shahida.
Anyway, who's the next one?
All right, who's next? We got them. All right, so we got 100% Shahida and Tanya. And Chris, you said what?
I think it's gonna. I think he's at 65. She's at 35, but I think he's definitely gonna 100% yes, and she's gonna be
absolutely. She's gonna say yes. Give her 100.
I'm gonna say 48.
Give her 75.
48%. She's gonna say no. She's gonna say no.
Haley and Jacob.
No, we're going to.
How many eggs did he make?
8.
No, we're not going to go to that. Let's go to Claire. Let's just take Claire and Ryan's boring asses off the table. 8 eggs. I will never eat eggs. When I saw that shit and he was shoveling them whole in his mouth, like he was like, it's good that you made eggs. But
and did you notice he put the stick with him too?
And he was like putting the fork in it and he was like eating 1 egg at a time. And I was like, I'm not eating eggs for like a month.
Yeah, okay. It was gross.
He left early in the morning and said, no one's gonna be using
and took the meat. Yeah. Did y'all peep the shit that he went into the freezer and took the meat?
And I'm like, said that I had to go back and watch it because I didn't see the ending because I fell asleep. But I was like, wow.
He left. He woke up and he packed his bags, which I knew what he was gonna. I already knew he was gonna do that. But then he went in the fridge, and now we already know watching the show that it's a 4-hour drive from Atlanta to Hilton Head. And he went in the fridge and took like a fresh pack of like beef sirloin and tossed it in his bag. And I was like, when I watched it this morning, I'm like, why are you taking the beef? Why are you taking the meat? Like by the time we get home, that meat is going to be spoiled.
I mean, he should. I think he should have said that he was going home. I
agree.
He was petty. And I'm not, and I get why he was the entire time, but you can't make other people feel that uncomfortable when you're in the room. Both of them could have, at that dinner, it was like, could you have not done that?
Oh, man.
Listen to me. When I watched that, it was at that moment that I was like, I wish I was like one of those wives that got married at first sight, because I'd have blown the whole shit up, because I'd have been like, oh, God, with my drink, like, so awkward right now. Let's have a discussion. Let's talk about it. Oh, I went viral.
No, yeah, it was petty, and I get it. You have every reason to feel petty about this woman and how she kept looking at the other women and kind of like rolling her eyes, like, "See, this is what I have to deal with." But you don't ever show your stuff publicly. See, this is what I got to deal with. Oh, she was doing all the eye roll.
And the fact that she got all fucking excited when they had that game, And I'm like, and she's like, I'm competitive. And I'm like, of course you are. Everybody in America knows that you're competitive.
I kicked your ass, Haley.
Right. And then she beat them. Like, you have the worst relationship. I mean, outside of Chris and Paige. But I'm like, you have the worst relationship out of all those couples at Hilton Head. And you got the balls to sit there talking about, I'm competitive. And then when you won, you're like, oh, yes, we won. Bitch, was you going to you both are sleeping in separate bedrooms. It'd be one thing.
If she put as much energy into her being competitive as she does into a marriage, that saying like, I'm not going to let this marriage, whatever I have to do, I'm going to win.
I'm going to let this marriage die.
I'm going to win this marriage. If she used that competitive edge that she has so much and used it in her marriage,
they'd be happy as fuck.
Because it was really interesting. It was actually kind of interesting watching the exercise that they had to say nice things about each other. Mm-hmm. And I think he was genuinely shocked and touched by her. Shocked. Right. And he was as diplomatic and nice as possible, but I was genuinely like, wow, really? Wow. She was actually nice to him.
Right. Nice about him. I couldn't believe it.
See, now, I wish she
would just take that and say, you're a nice guy. I'm just not attracted to you. We don't have to have any vitriol. Right. We can just leave it from the beginning weeks ago. Hey, you're a nice guy. You're just not my type. I'm just not attracted to you. I really appreciate all the effort. We can just let's just get through this. Instead of being like, my mother emailed mailed the package to you here. She still does.
It was so petty. So petty. She doesn't get it. And when they were sitting at Hilton Head and he was talking, when they were sitting at the table and they were talking about what have you learned in this process? And he's trying to communicate it. And her face was just like, she was so disgusted. And I'm like, how do you get on this show and marry a complete stranger? And you looking at him like,
She doesn't.
She looking with such disdain. Such disdain.
Instead of being such a, I don't want to use the B word, but instead of being
bitch,
so if she just could have been upfront with him and like, look, but she kind of makes it she's the innocent one and it's not her fault at all. No, you just he's attracted to you. You're not attracted to him. That's what it comes down to. That's why all the vitriol is because you're not attracted to him. He would not be mean to you at all. Not that he's even mean now, but he wouldn't be mean to you at all if you liked him. He liked you. She is in control of all of it. All of it. All of it.
But that's why I did not believe that letter, because she to me is like Ryan. They know how to say the right thing. And Chris know how to say the right things, say lovely words. She didn't mean any of that. I don't think she meant it. I don't think she is as sincere as she came off.
No, I think I think her and Ryan meant it. I think her and Ryan meant it.
No,
but they're so set in their ways that that's what they think. And that's what they say, and that's what they put out.
That's what I'm saying.
Ryan,
they say these things, but they don't feel these things. Especially her. She said those things, and they were very nice things. But I could write a nice letter about fucking Trump if I wanted to, because
I couldn't. No,
I could.
No, I can't do that. No.
If I definitely could. I could lie. And I think that's exactly what she knows how to do. She knows how to lie. She definitely knows how to lie. She's a liar. She's a manipulator. And in that letter that he was feeling all gushy over, she played him. And she played y'all. Because she didn't mean any of that. If she meant half of what she said, she would have been nicer at least half the time during this process.
Well, maybe
I agree with you on that one.
Maybe she's also it's a week left. So she's like, let me just be nice to this man because I don't have to deal with him ever again after a week. So it's coming down to
wait. Because when when she was nice to him in that so-called love letter that they wrote to each other, when she said it, it was like they were very basic in the information that they were talking about. Like the both of them talked about, like she was like, Haley was like the dogs, and she didn't lose herself in the fact to tell him, yes, I'm jealous because my dog loves you and lays in your lap and loves you. And he's like, yeah, I know you. I know that rubs you the wrong way. I'm on the cusp of, I got a cat.
Were they joking when she said that?
No, they were serious.
He said, you're jealous, of the dog. She's like, yeah, well, I am kind of, they were teasing.
I thought that was like their dry humor.
Yeah, that was
their dry humor. Listen, no, she was jealous she's so competitive over being on top that when they had that game of the couples, the first thing out of her fucking mouth was, I'm competitive. Bitch, it ain't about competition. It's about couples, your couples, you and your husband, and the other couples and their spouses learning shit about each other. It ain't about winning at this point.
Really bother me, her being competitive. Yeah. When I play games, I don't like losing either.
And she's a sore winner.
Yeah.
But what bothered me about it is that, but what bothered me about it is the fact that she has the shittiest relationship outside of Chris and Paige. Her relationship is fucked. And her and Jacob won. That
because, like you said, that's all they've done is talk.
It's talk. But at the end of the day, Haley was like all pumping up, like we won. And I'm like, but you didn't win. Because at the end of the day, you could know everything about him because of your stresses, your stress conversations with him. But at the end of the day, I'd rather not know anything about dude, but be happily in a loving relationship with him. I'll learn that shit later. Fuck that. I don't know. I don't get that with her. I don't get that with her.
Like her.
I do not like her at all, and that's why I'm not giving that bitch no rope.
I don't like her, and I think she's slimy.
She stank.
She's slimy.
So we've decided that they're both going to say no.
Yeah, I'm going to give them both a 0%, and neither one of them two is going to stay married. That's a wrap.
100% no.
100% no.
But I think I'm just saying, in terms of emotionally, if she had just liked him just a little bit, she's at 10%. She's at 5%. If he's still at like 45 with her, if she was just nice to him, he would say yes.
He's still giving her options.
Because he's also said, when I first saw her, remember he said, I first saw her, that's my wife. He said, that's my wife, right?
Yes.
When I first saw her, he said, that's my wife. And he's like, and I'm looking at 40 in the eye, and he really wants to be married. And if this is the one, and I think he really trusts the judges or whatever, the panel that put them together. He really trusts them. And he's like, I've tried everything else, and they matched me with this woman. There's got to be something about her. And I think he still believes that. I really honestly think he still believes that. If she just was attracted to him or liked him for his quirks, they would be on like Donkey Kong. But she don't like him. She don't.
That's why I have been saying from the rip, when they had sex in Vegas, the dick game was off. Because I'm telling you, I will always be a firm believer. His dick game was off. And that's why she's feeling like I can't fuck with him.
The aisle. She didn't like him walking down the aisle. Right. She was turned off from the very beginning.
She still married him. And then they went to Vegas, and then she had sex with him.
How many people have gone ahead and married somebody that they on the show that they weren't attracted to when they got? Chris married Paige. Yeah. He wasn't attracted to her either.
Well, that is true.
He was like, damn.
I don't know. Listen, what did Chris say? What did Chris say to Pastor Cal when Chris was like, out of all the women in Atlanta, we're in Atlanta. When Chris said that shit, I was like,
oh my God. Oh.
I was like, Negro. He was
my
like,
sister's in the other room right now. She's in the other room right now watching season 10. Now, which is the one two
okay.
ago.
Oh,
With-
okay. Oh
with
shit.
Brandon and the black chick.
Oh,
the DC
Brandon.
one.
Oh,
and the
Lord
and the
Jesus.
gay guy, the gay muscle
Brandon
guy,
and Taylor.
and the skater, and
Yes.
and Mika and
Mika
David.
and yes, Mika and no Mika. What was
I
his
don't
name?
remember none of them.
Mika and I think it was Mika and
David.
Gregory.
David.
David.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
David
remember
was
that.
a whole fraud. A whole fraud.
So she's watching right now. She's binging that right now.
Oh, okay.
Does she like it? Does she like it though?
A little bit, yeah. She likes it. But I wanted to see I think last season was a good season.
I think last season. That's why
I watched last season.
It's not on
Taylor
the
and Brandon. Anyway. Listen, we need to talk about that. But let's get to what do we talk about? We talked about
Vinny and
Vinny and
Brianna. Get your ass
Brianna.
up on the horse. Vinny, get your ass
on the horse.
You got a helmet on.
I felt some sort of way with Vincent because Vincent is not trying. And again, I fault the professionals on this because if I was going to apply for Married at First Sight or anything for that matter, I'm making it known. I'm an adventurous type of girl. I've jumped out of planes. I've skydived. I do this. I do that. And I'm kind of like an impulsive bitch. Like I might be in Vegas on a vacation and be like, the bungee jumps up. Now I'm going to bungee jump. I need a man that's going to be like, let's do it. And if he's not willing to do it, he needs to be my biggest fan. I don't have a problem with Vincent saying, I'm not getting on this horse. But if I get on the horse, I'm going to need him to be like, boo-boo, you look really good on that horse. I'm going to just take the horse's reins and walk you down the beach.
He has to grow up a little. What are you going to tell your kids? What are you going to tell your kids when
he's a man?
Something's going on and they're not trying or they're living in fear to try things because they don't want to fail. Or they don't want to look
That's right.
stupid. What are you going to say to your kids? You got to step up a little. I mean,
as a man,
he did.
I don't think he's ever been challenged like that.
How have you?
I mean, like
he went ballistic when they did the bachata, the salsa dance lessons. He went,
but those
sideways.
are all things that were her idea. That he's like, well, I otherwise he'd been like, no, I ain't doing that, and not do it. But they're like, oh, it's film.
He's probably been with women that'd be like, okay, that's fine. We'll do
because he does
else.
everything. He does everything else.
Yeah,
he cooks. He's nice. He's this, that, and the other. So. But
he has to do a little bit better. I mean,
then you get up on the horse. Just get up on the horse. It's not going to hurt you.
I was glad that he got up on the horse. 10-year-old kids go on it. I was glad that he got up on the horse because I thought that he was not. When I was watching that and he's like, I'm not going to do this. And I was like, oh, Vinny. Don't do it. Get on the fucking horse. Don't leave your wife on the horse. He's like, well, I'm just going to walk with the horse. And I'm like, oh, Vinny, don't do it. Well, Vinny
and
got
it was the conversation that they had too, when he was just like, I get it. You don't want to be surprised with things, but then also you stew on things way too much that you're nervous about.
A lot.
He was.
Yeah, because listen,
in his head a lot. He doesn't like to be embarrassed.
Exactly.
Right. He doesn't want to be embarrassed because he kept focusing on, like, he was worse than a woman. He's like, oh, we've gained so much weight. And I'm like, well, I'm looking at you both. And I'm like, y'all look good.
He gained some weight.
Yeah. He did. But Brianna didn't gain no weight. Brianna looks good.
Brianna's like, that's why she wants him to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning so we could go work out.
Yeah, probably.
And I don't like that either. Listen, I don't like that. Where, here's the thing, where she's like, when I wake up, you wake up. No.
Did you see his face when they woke up? At
the retreat, and she kept patting his face. I don't like that. See, I'm not a touchy-feely person. So if I'm in a relationship and we're sleeping in the same bed, I don't want a spoon. And I don't want you to wake up and be like, hey, boo, wake up, boo. Nah, I'll be like, I will stab you in the neck. I don't want to be touched.
What shocked me about them was the fact that knowing how Brianna is, that they had not talked about where they were going to live.
Oh, right.
Because she asked.
And again, that is another no-brainer. But then again, that's another no-brainer, Shahida, because she lives in they both are renting apartments.
Go from a 2-bedroom to a 1-bedroom.
I would never. You're living in a 2-bedroom. Herein lies the compromise conversation that you have. Mm-hmm. I've been there. I've done that.
Who has a 2-bedroom? Who has a 2-bedroom?
Brianna.
Oh, she does. So yeah.
He lives in a 1-bedroom, small ass apartment.
And that's mile my house is really small, but I love it. But sir, I mean, there's a big.
No, it's not going to happen. Hmm? It's not going to happen. I will draw the line there. I'm all about a man. Listen, I'm all about letting a man be a man, because I am old school. We're all of a certain age, but I was raised in a certain type of lifestyle where the man makes all the decisions and all of that. But you cannot have your house. Don't laugh at me.
I'm not laughing at you.
No, she's not laughing at you. She's laughing at God.
All right, so I'm like, Brianna has the 2-bedroom. Brianna has 2-bedroom. Mm-hmm. Vinny needs to move into her house, her apartment. Same with Eric and Virginia.
Or
Virginia's renting an apartment.
She should break her lease. Whatever, and get their own place. His lease is almost up in April, whatever. So by that time, he can move in there with her until her lease is up, and then they have to move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they didn't have that discussion.
Which I'm shocked.
Yeah, he's all like, she's going to move into my apartment, 1-bedroom apartment. And she's like, and I felt her on that one. She's like, I got a 2-bedroom apartment. Like, I ain't trying to move all my shit into your 1-bedroom apartment. I got her on that. Mm-hmm. That's a conversation that has to be had before the cameras turn on.
And knowing how controlling she is about things, I'm very surprised that they hadn't had that conversation. That was,
or maybe it'll come. I don't know. Yeah, I'm surprised.
8 days.
They must have had it and not come to a resolution. And you know how it's funny how when everyone was around, they kind of like to air shit out just to see the bounce back.
Well,
the echo of it. That's why Virginia and Eric were all like, "Oh, so and so. Oh, yeah, she doesn't want to live there." And everyone's like, "Oh," and then she's trying to explain. That's when the Jake and everyone had their own little thing that they threw out there that they wouldn't normally do with each other, but they wanted to see, what they thought.
Right. Right.
Well, I think I do think that they're going to make it. No, no problem. Yeah, but I feel
I think they're going to stay. They give them 100%.
Counseling. They're not going to make it to children if they don't get some counseling.
If especially if she don't want to have them.
Well, no,
I think she wants to have them.
She wants to have a children. Listen, I'm gonna put my nurse hat right now. She made it clear, and that's a fact with her high blood pressure of being pregnant. She's 20-something years old and has high blood pressure.
I know. We all know. But it's like,
if she gets pregnant, but it's a genetic thing. So having said that, if she gets pregnant, your as you know, Shahida, your blood pressure goes up when you get pregnant. And if you already have high blood pressure, that could potentially kill you.
But she's on
giving birth to a baby.
I mean, I get it. I don't know all the ins and outs of
she's not the first woman,
Oh, whatever. But she's not the first Black woman to have that issue. So there is, like I said, they need to do some research, and it might not ever take away that fear from her, but it's something that she can get through with the proper care.
My grandmother had a 13.5-pound baby in 1930, whatever.
Oh, damn.
You know what I mean? So
my mother was born
as a Black woman in 1930, 1940, and you got a 13.5-pound baby. She didn't
that came out walking.
She didn't. Basically,
with glasses.
So what's up? What's up, Mom? Right.
Exactly. Kate was like, "Yo, yo, Shahida, put your Darth Vader hat on." That's what that baby said.
So, percentages for them?
I give them 100%. I think they're gonna stay married. They're definitely gonna say yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I think they're both at 95. I think both 95. I can never say 100 just because you never never ever know.
Right.
I can't.
But
I can't.
I'm 100% sure that Jake and Haley gonna say no.
Right.
Oh, I already know that Jake and Haley gonna say no.
Oh yeah.
Chris and Paige are gonna say no, but we don't know.
Are they gonna come to the final? Is there a final thing?
Oh, they're coming. Yeah, I saw it. Yes, I saw the previews.
Is there a preview?
Oh, there's a preview.
Oh, there's a preview. Yes, there's a preview. There's a trailer.
So it is the
and yes, Chris and Paige are showing up for the decision day. And I am not gonna say nothing else. I'm just gonna leave it to. I'm gonna leave you two to figure it out.
I don't like watching it.
I watched it.
I don't want to anticipate. So who we got next?
All right, so now we have Clara and Ryan.
Clara and Ryan.
I feel bad for Clara.
No, I don't.
Let me say this one.
I don't.
Let me say this one thing about Ryan before you go. I was thinking about this week. The fact that he says he doesn't want to be sexually intimate with her until he builds that trust.
Until she has a dick.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you. Ding, ding, ding. Thank you, Chris.
So granted, but how diabolical is it that you can say, well, I'm not going to give you pleasure, but you can do that for me, and then just feel like you're a good person? That's a horrible selfish person.
Because that's a man shit. Like that is man shit. A mouth is a mouth is a mouth. When I saw that episode where she was like, I'm getting him off every night and I ain't getting nothing, my radar was like, ting. A mouth is a mouth, bitch. Whether you're a man or a woman, you're sucking his dick and getting him off. You don't give a shit.
So into her feelings, so in tune to her emotional care. You can do that and then just turn over and go to sleep.
Of course.
Turn over and go to sleep.
There's something wrong.
That's
something wrong with him. Something wrong with him.
There's something wrong with him.
There's something wrong with him.
There is something wrong with him.
He's gay. And that's not wrong with him. That's not a wrong thing. He's gay.
But he's cruel.
He just needs to own that.
That was mean.
It's emotional terrorism. Colton, Chris, and friggin' Ryan. Emotional terrorists.
Yeah.
Shame on them to try to go on national TV to shade your shit. Fuck that shit.
She really loves him.
She really loves him. And that's what makes me, that's what infuriates me the most.
She's like, are you in love with him? And she's like, well, I want us to do it together. She's head over heels in love with him because she makes excuses for him so much. So many excuses.
And the last episode when they wrote the love letters to each other and he read the love letter to her and I was listening to it and I was like, and I am an emotional person. And she was like, he was like saying what he said and she's all crying and shit. And I'm like, whatever. Then she's saying what she's saying and she's crying and he just, sure.
Well,
if I had $1 for every time that fucker said sure, I'd be retired right now. But I digress.
And anyway. True, because when you listen to the words and what exactly she said about, and that's what I mean when I say he's so cruel, because he gives her this emotional hope that he's going to be everything, and just a small piece I'm not going to give you, but everything else I'm there for you. I feel your feelings, but he doesn't react when she does something like that.
It doesn't.
Is he saving the love for the couch? You think he's going to say I love you?
Oh, here's my ultimate goal. When I watched it, I was like, my ultimate goal was like, he's going to wait until decision day.
Yes.
I'm going to give them.
And she's hoping for that.
Right. I'm going to give them a 95%. I'm not going to give them 100. I think they're still going to stay married. But I think that she's waiting on that decision day that he's going to have his little say and then he's going to drop trowel on his knee and be like, I really love you. She needs that at this point.
She does.
And she deserves
That's the only thing that can save her.
Right. She deserves that.
If he doesn't say it,
the marriage is over. If he doesn't say it, if he doesn't bring anything to the table on decision
day next week. It's a month, right? 8 weeks? How long is it?
Yes, 8 weeks. 8 weeks.
8 weeks.
So next week, if he doesn't drop on his knee,
if you can't say I love you to your wife after 8 weeks, let
it go.
And he doesn't have a reason. He doesn't have any good reason of not saying it. When he's doing everything else and saying everything else, that's why it just sounds so pathetic when he tries to give these excuses for what this trust thing or whatever. It's just stupid.
Yeah, I think he's convinced himself that he's, I don't know.
He's something that he's not. And maybe that is a heterosexual man. I don't know.
I get the not saying I love you thing, but not saying I love you and not having sex, there's something there.
Well, wait a minute. Not saying I love you, not having sex, but your wife is.
That's the thing.
Your wife is something for you off every night. So for him, having sex with his wife, not having sex with his wife isn't an issue for him because he's getting his shit off every day.
If she changes her name to Carl.
If I was her and I got you off and you didn't do shit for me, we would be fucking fighting in that apartment.
In the street, Shahida, in the street.
I said she should just change her name to Carl. And when he goes down on, when she goes down on him, he just imagines,
I can't.
Telling you something.
Or go to the I'm with you, Chris. Or go to the sex store and get a fucking strap on and just be like, if he wants this, just bang him in the. I'm not gonna say nothing. We're still recording.
You already said it. We heard you.
So I think individually, I think she's still. Ooh, she's
still at 60.
She's more than 60 now. Now she's like 75. Yeah. She really wants it.
Oh yeah, you talking about Clara saying yes? Oh, I give Clara a whole 95. I'm up in the ante. I'm throwing the shit on the table. I'm giving Clara a whole 95. I guarantee you she will not. That marriage will end if Ryan says, I want a divorce. She's gonna say yes. I want to stay with it.
Do you think he would say that? Because I
don't know.
It's so confusing because it's like I don't think he wants to be married to her, but I think he wants to be married.
But I think he wants to be married and hide that secret because his parents are pastors and he's gay.
Yeah.
He ain't ready to come out the closet yet. He ain't ready to pull a full Colton.
I think
or Tyler Perry.
I really think that's what it is. It has to be, Shahida.
Yeah,
we've been trying to look. We've been dissecting it for weeks now, trying to figure out what it is. And after the first weeks, when you're like, okay, I can respect that he wants to wait. Now it's like you don't really have a good excuse. I'm like,
okay, just come on. Let's call a spade a spade. The three of us are a certain age. Have we ever? I'm gonna speak for myself. I'm gonna let y'all hold your shit. For myself, I ain't never waited 8 weeks to have sex.
Well, when I was 30, I waited 3 months. 3 months. And even after that, it still was like,
Really?
She wasn't. So
was it worth the 3 months wait?
But I was like this when I was 30, I was like, okay, no, it's okay. No, we can, no, that's all right. Whatever you're comfortable with. Then I grew some balls.
But you have to go at somebody's comfort level. But you would expect that.
Yeah, but she was like, but it was a whole oof. So
30?
At 30, 3 months.
Oh God.
3 months. And 3 months. Really bad. Oof. And I was like, okay, I'll wait.
That's a whole nother podcast.
I'll wait for you. Whenever you're comfortable with, I'll wait for you. Because I love you. Call me Carla.
Chris, I can't.
As for her and them 8 weeks, it doesn't make sense when he's married, and if he's coming from the religious point of view, it doesn't make more sense.
Well, Chris is more religious, and he did on the first night.
Twice, 3 times. They was fucking all night. Apparently the Paige and Chris on their honeymoon, they was fucking all night. Sorry, not sorry. I'm tired. I'm old.
Chris is a fornicator, so you can't say all that shit. He is more religious.
But he's pretty religious. I mean, yeah, well, fornicate, spread your seed. So next week is next week the bench.
Next week's the finale.
Oh, okay. Before we wrap up, though, I mean, we got what, like 5 more minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
One quick question, because I kept getting this in emails. This whole thing with Virginia and
Eric.
Drunks, yeah.
As far as like relationship goes, and I kind of gauge what you're gonna say, but as somebody wanted me to ask this question, what's the protocol with lifelong friends who are of the opposite sex when you get married? Somebody asked me to ask that question.
Wait, what do you say that again?
So like when you get married and you have lifelong friends that are from the opposite sex, they're watching the show as well. They want to say, what do we feel is like the proper etiquette or protocol for that friendship and that marriage? Like I feel like I had lifelong friends when I got married, and they actually did not like my husband. We all lived on the same street, same neighborhood, or whatever. And so it was a little difficult, but it was like, this is my husband. I know you don't like him. I would see them and talk to them like around the holidays and stuff.
So you curbed your enthusiasm for them.
Yes, I did. Yeah, and we're still friends to this day. So I didn't give up my friendship with them.
Right.
But I wasn't as involved in the friendship without my husband at that time. But I still kept them as friends. And then when my marriage ended, I still had my friends. It wasn't like I came crawling back like, oh, we're divorced now. Can we be friends? No, I maintained it throughout the entire marriage.
Well, I was in a relationship for 4 years, and engaged this woman, and I called it off because we weren't compatible after a while. And then when I started dating afterwards, we didn't talk for 6 months after I called off the wedding, and then we became like best friends again because we were originally really, really close friends. We grew into very, very close friends. We weren't sexually compatible, or it just wasn't enough for either one of us. So, but we were still friends. After 6 months, we became friends. And then when I started dating, after that, I told the women that I was dating, I said, look, if I wanted to be with her, I would have married her. I'd have been with her. I was there. I would have married her. She's part of my family. She's close to me. She's like a sister to me. I can be in the same bed with her. Nothing. You can trust that nothing is going to happen between us that's going to disrupt our relationship. So if you're okay with that, that's fine. But I'm letting you know she's going to be in my life. Now, if I was married, that may be I'd have to maybe take a different approach to that. Just like you were saying, Shahida, with saying, okay, well,
girlfriend, I would not have been able to accept that so much because it was too recent. This is you engage and you all were together, and then the new person comes into the picture. Yeah, I respect it, but I don't know if as the girlfriend and knowing that this was a recently broken up relationship.
If I was going to be with her, I'd have married her. I would have married her.
But people find
and the reason why I didn't get married is because there was no heat. There was no spark between us. We were great friends. So that's why I didn't get married. That's the reason why. So you can really trust the fact that ain't nothing going on with that because I tried to get something going on with that. And I was
as a heterosexual man, you tried it.
And it still didn't go.
I get it.
I'm like, how much more can I prove to you? Now, if it was a fling or something, we tried something and it was a friend of mine or whatever, and you'd be like, oh, well, there's still something. If I said, look, I tried to make this work and I couldn't make it work. So that's how I approached it with my girlfriend. They're like, okay, well, and some had a problem with it and some kind of didn't but I was like proving to them. So I think there is something to be said for the discussion. Now, marriage is different. If I'm married to her and that's my wife, she takes precedent over the friends, even if you had it from a long time. But my best friend is a woman. So my best friend is a woman now. So, and we've never had anything between us. We've always been friends. And ever since in high school, growing up, I've always had female friends, sometimes more than male friends. I've always gotten along really well with women as friends and nothing more. So
I agree.
You know what I mean?
And I know a lot of people that say that like men and women can't be friends. I always say that. I mean, I don't say that because a lot of my friends are of the male persuasion. And I have like a couple of female friends, but I can relate more to men. So it's like, I don't like when men say to me, women can't have male friends because your male friends are always going to want to fuck you. And I'm like, no, not really. That's not how it is.
Mines do though.
Yeah.
I have more. Really? Oh God, yeah. And we're cool. And we
like
have
even like your friends that you've been friends with forever, like male friends, they've really
most men, yeah. If you give them an opportunity, if you said, you know what, would you sleep with me tonight? They'd be like, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I guess it's a man thing. Yeah, I've never done that. And that's why it's perplexing to me that because I got a lot of male friends, but I ain't Virginia, I ain't sleeping in their houses and none of that shit. But I'm like, there's never been that.
To you.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
I'm like, none of them have ever said to me, "Oh, they said to me, you're great, you're fabulous."
If you had said, you know what, I just want to get. Could you mind doing me a favor to that? You think they're gonna be like, oh no, if you're Tanya, you're my friend, and I wouldn't.
They're gonna dig
be
you
like,
down.
But
really?
if they're truly your friend, they do respect your boundaries.
Yes, they would say, "Are you sure you want me to stick this in there?"
They will. Just don't get too drunk.
Right, exactly.
Girl, because you know how your girl does. And I'm like, well, at this age in the game, I'm late in the game on this one.
Okay, I'm surprised you answered the question because I want to hear what you have to say about, if you're married and you have lifelong friends, what do you feel is the protocol for those relationships?
Of my husband, if I was married back in the day and he had female friends?
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. As long as I know who they are.
I thought you would have been against it.
No. As long as I know who they are. Because, when I went to college, I mean, the majority of my friends, my core friends, are mostly male. And the majority male, minority female. And the males, I never looked at them as relationship people or sex people. They might have looked at me like that, but now that you guys have enlightened my eyes, I'm like, I would have said like 2 minutes ago, they never looked at me like that. They never looked at me. I was like the little sister, the friend, the cousin.
You find out,
Yeah, but I think
it's always a factor.
With regards to female friends, as long as they're as long as you know them and there's good communication, I wouldn't have a problem with my husband having female friends in the house of ours.
Mm-hmm. My thing has always been too, like with friends, if that's your friend, then we all need to be friends.
Right.
Yes.
So that's how I approached it when I was married. Like I said, but some of my childhood friends didn't like my husband, but they grew up in the same neighborhood, so it was like neighborhood stuff. But sometimes they're just immature. But for anybody else, it was like, I don't have a problem with so and so unless we're all friends. Now, when my best friend got married, I didn't know his wife, and I was married too. But I made it my business to have a friendship with her,
to make her comfortable.
I would call, and if I was calling to say, Merry Christmas or whatever to him, I would talk to her on the phone for like 20-30 minutes. I made effort. And even when after they divorced, she and I remained friends. And that was my very best childhood
and
friend.
now you can both talk shit about him.
Huh?
You can now both talk shit about them too.
No.
Because I'm just.
I never got into it. But that was the question that somebody wanted me to put out there for you guys. So that's it. Are we done here for this?
We're done.
Next week
we done. We gotta
1 hour.
let Chris go.
Yeah,
I've already ended the. I ended the podcast.
You ended it? It's still going.
Well, you said end it.
It says
it's
live.
Still going.
It says live, woman.
No sense.
Yeah, live 1 hour right now.
You can end it now.
Well, let me end it now.